Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and this video is for anyone who feels like they are lacking momentum right now. Maybe you've been stuck for a while, unsure of what to do next, and you just need a bit of a push. Now, I'm not an expert, especially not in life or YouTube, and that's kind of the point of this video. I'm not even comfortable making this video, to be honest. I'm just going to do it anyway, just to push myself outside of my comfort zone, and hopefully it's something that I can look back on and feel proud of. Now, in this video, I want to talk a bit about where I'm currently at in life and what's made me finally take action and how all this might apply to you as well. And I hope that by the end of this video, it gives you even a small sense of motivation or clarity, or at the very least, something to think about. Now, this is my first video, and honestly, I do not expect it to be great, but there is a reason I'm doing this. I was inspired by two YouTubers, one called, I might butcher this by the way, Dynah, spelled D-Y-N-A-H, and another YouTuber called BizPath. And both of them have this really simple format where they play Modern Warfare 2 and they talk about life. And this one video from Dynah that really stuck with me. I was commuting on the way to work. I look outside and it's grey skies and I'm tired. You don't sleep very well the day before. I think we've all had those mornings. And I was listening to this video in my earphones and I had an epiphany. And for context, this video I watched was about trying to follow your creative side, and in particular it's about the fact that everyone should get onto YouTube because it'll encourage you to embrace your creative side and try new things, and that there's an audience for everything that you try and do. And especially for me, trying YouTube, because it's something that I'm not very comfortable doing, and I want to just try and do something, even something very small, that will push me outside my comfort zone. Now, you might be watching this and thinking, you know what, life's really good right now, and genuinely if that's the case, then that's absolutely amazing. Feel free to drop your comments down below, because you might not agree with the things I'm saying. You might think I'm thinking about things that aren't important. Some people say, why are you bothered about this? Enjoy life, enjoy being with your family, etc. And I completely get that. But if there is even a small part of you that feels like you're meant to be doing a little bit more, or that there's something in the back of your mind that's just nagging you, then I'm hoping that this video will be relevant to you. And honestly, just the fact that you're watching something like this already says that you're at least open to reflection, open to changing. And I think that is something worth giving yourself credit for, because I feel like many people nowadays especially, very stuck in their own ways, and that's why they don't really get on much in life. So what I want to do next is just talk a bit about where I'm at, why I suddenly had this shift in mindset. Now, I've thought in the past about making videos before, probably for years every now and then, because as I've mentioned several times, it's the idea of actually be able to pursue your creative ambitions is quite exciting, especially compared with your day-to-day job, let's say. But as I would think about doing this, there would be several excuses that would pop into my mind. For example, I would say things such as it's too much effort, I don't have the right equipment, no one's going to care, or a lot of the times, not even just with YouTube, but in life, I would think, you know what, I'll just do it when I'm more prepared. I've got plenty of time in life, I can just do it later on down the line. But the video I listened to when I was commuting to work made me stop and realise how much energy I was putting into excuses instead of actually doing something about the things I wanted to do. So I wanted to flip completely on its head, and I said, you know what, screw this. I'm going to challenge myself. How quickly can I go from absolutely nothing to putting some sort of YouTube video out into the world, just to almost shatter my own perceived thoughts about things. Don't matter how bad it is, because I expect this video to be bad, by the way. I just want to challenge my own perception. What can I realistically do that I would never usually do? And hopefully by overcoming this fear, I could then look forward and think, okay, now what's the next thing that I can do? So yesterday I decided that I'm going to try this, and I'm thinking, right, what do I need? I'm going to buy a cheap mic from Amazon. I have no idea how to configure it, so I've been playing around with that. I'm just going to start recording this audio on my laptop. I've not even recorded the gameplay yet. I would like to have something simple, like something game related in the background, because I'm a big gamer, and especially following some of these YouTube videos where they have commentary over gameplay, I think that's quite a good balance of learning something that can hopefully benefit your life, whilst also feeling comfortable watching gameplay. So that is the idea. But right now for me, it's just trying to do something is the win. This video might get 3 views. I'm not expecting it to get any views, to be honest. 2 of these views might be me rewatching the video, I don't know. But for me, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that I'm doing something that I've been avoiding for years, and hopefully I'll be proud once this video's out there. Because I feel like the second you actually do something that scares you, your brain goes, okay, nice, what else can I do next? What's next? And I feel like the more I keep doing that, even in small ways, the more that my life will start to move forward. So for me, this is about overcoming a fear of doing something that I don't want to do and just forcing myself to do it anyway. And almost turning my expectations on its head and saying, you know what, I'm going to challenge all those years of procrastination. I'm going to do something and challenge myself. Now, what I will say is, for me, I've discovered over the past few weeks that the main way of getting over these ridiculous, sometimes ridiculous fears, especially for myself as well, is to get a piece of paper or something you can write down on, or type, whatever you prefer, and think of all the excuses, whether they're valid or not. It can be, don't matter how ridiculous it is, just think of all the excuses about, or all the reasons that you don't want to do something, and write down every single one. So I'll give you an example. For myself here, I may say, oh, I want to try do YouTube, let's say, but I might think, what's the reasons that I don't want to do it? I might say something like, oh, I can't be bothered. Okay, break that down. Why can't I be bothered? Well, if I answered honestly, it's actually because maybe I'm a bit scared of putting myself out there, maybe I'm a bit lazy. So I might then say, okay, well, I don't have the equipment to film a YouTube video. Okay, what do I need? Well, I probably need a microphone to be able to speak. Okay, buy a mic then, sorted. And what I do is I'll go through each excuse and come up with a tiny solution, because I feel like when you think about it specifically, there are actually simple solutions to a lot of the issues you overcome. But what my brain used to do would almost be like, oh, I don't have the equipment, and oh, I'm a bit scared and I don't want to do it, and it just come up with all these broad excuses and my brain would just shut down. Rather than that, look at each individual excuse and come up with a minor solution for each of these reasons that you can't do something. But once you have then got your plan, you've got to do the hard part, which in my experience, the hard part is actually doing the thing that you said you would do. And what I'm going to say now will sound ridiculous and very obvious, but I'm in my mid-20s now, and I've really started to realise that nothing will change if nothing changes. I can't remember who actually said that quote, but I've wasted so much time planning goals and coming up with ideas and plans to actually do things, and I would probably pursue action around 5% of the time. And in the moment when you're creating your goal, you've got a plan, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be good, like it's going to work. And then maybe life gets in the way and distractions, and you forget about the goal because you're not actually implementing the actions you said you would. And as a result, it's just a waste of time. All that planning I did, all the ideas I had, a complete waste of time. And I've really not done as much in life as I would like to have done. So I've now really started to realise I have to implement action, up to a point where, in my mindset now, unless I take action, I'm not regarding myself as having made any progress, regardless of all the planning I've done, etc. And I want to flip this back over to you guys now who are watching this video. Quick question, as I'm going to wrap this up soon. I don't want to ramble for too long, which I probably have rambled for a long time in fairness, but I want to ask, is there something that you've been avoiding because it's uncomfortable? And maybe that's applying for a job that you're not sure you're qualified for, or maybe it's pursuing a side hustle of some form. Just something that's been sitting in the back of your mind for months. I feel like we all have those things, and if you're anything like me, it's easy just to let the hesitation become your default. And I know in my case, my brain find a way to just push it out and just think, oh, it's not important, don't worry about it. I'm hoping that you may watch this video and at least have some form of inspiration or motivation, or just something that makes you think, you know what, today's the day that I'm going to start doing something. So if you do decide to actually do something, or this video has in any way give you any form of nudge, or, I won't go as far as inspiration, just a random guy talking to a microphone, but if it's give you a nudge at all, please will you let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know what you're up to, what sort of stuff you've been doing, and if anything has changed at all, if this video has made you think about things differently in any way, whether that is big or small. Feel free to comment. I genuinely want to read every one of those comments. But, you know, just a final point. I'm wrapping this up right now, and my brain's already trying to talk me out of loading this. It's saying stuff like, was I a bit too cringe? Did I sound a bit too serious? Did I sound a bit up my own backside? I'm just a random person. How am I in a position to be able to give advice to people? You know, that might be the case. People might be watching this thinking, who does this guy think he actually is? But honestly, this is just part of the process. The worst case scenario, this video flop. It'll be absolutely embarrassing. This video, I'll just delete the channel. You know, maybe in a few weeks I'll start another channel again. Pretend like this never happened. Like, hey guys, welcome to my first YouTube channel. You know, this is the point. I know this video is not going to be good. I just want to challenge my own emotions, really. And if there's any form of value that I can also provide to people, that's just a huge, huge bonus. So I don't know what's going to come next. This video might be one and done. I have no idea. But at the very least, I'm happy with myself. I'm hoping I will be happy with myself that I've put this video out there. But for you listening, I really want to say thank you for listening. And as I said, please let me know in the comments your thoughts on this, whether that's good or bad. And I will hopefully see you guys in the next one.